have papers stating that. And I have papers from NAGPRA saying that Bridgewater College broke NAGPRA when they cremated the infant's remains. Um, but they got away with it for several years. And that's kind of what, when I went to a reporter with this story, that's what he latched onto, is that Bridgewater College broke NAGPRA. All right, I'm going to share my documents that I collected about the Lewis Creek Mound, a Native American burial mound that's near me, um, that was near where I live. And first, I want to say I'm not romanticizing Native Americans or Indian burial grounds, especially like in a Stephen King kind of way. No, I don't want to do that. And I think that's nasty to do. But what I am trying to do is put history out there, put somebody's story out there, and hopefully get them some justice by putting their story out there. Um, I know that, I'm talking about the dead, but I believe that the dead deserve justice too. Um, so, yeah, I'll show you. First, I have a lot of documents. This is the first one that I ever collected, and it has a few paragraphs about the Lewis Creek Mound. One thing that I noticed, um, hmm, mm, 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 mm. Okay, there it is. A small string of marginella beads, a few beads made from the Camilla of Conch, and several skulls are in the hands of a Reverend Mr. Glovier, who lives a mile west of Lewis Creek Mound on State Highway 792. So when Reverend Glovier, and I'll show that his story to you guys, but him and two other gentlemen um, dug up the mound in the 30s and took a lot of the artifacts. And Reverend Glovier, okay, a reverend, took several of the skulls home. This expert was written in, let's see, what was it? I do believe 1952. Yes, 1952. So he had skulls of human beings in his basement for over 20 years, and he's supposed to be a reverend. Okay. And this is where I wanted to start. This is an old newspaper article written in the 30s about Reverend Glovier. Let's see. P.C. Manley and the Reverend David F. Glovier. Okay. They're the ones who started digging up the mound in the 30s. It had previously been disturbed and stolen from in the 20s, but this is the first time anybody, quote unquote, excavated it. But they weren't professional archaeologists. They were just good old boys who were going to go dig up an Indian mound and see if they could find some treasure. You know what I mean? Um, and they went to the newspaper about it. And they say that there was about maybe 500 bodies in there. Now, here's another newspaper article written in the 30s, and it's actually written by David Glovier, and he's just talking about what he thinks was the history of the mound and blah, 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 blah. Like, he didn't know, you know, how were all these people in there piled up. He didn't know. So it's like his idea of how these people came to be there. Now, in the 1960s, there was a plan to rebuild that road. And the plan was to build the road straight over the mound. Like, there was no saving the mound, they were going to build that road. So, Reverend Glovier and some, the landowners, they did like an emergency excavation. And that's when the mound was like completely dug up and destroyed. The final excavation. Those are some pictures from the final excavation. I do believe that's Glovier. However, you say his damn name. See them digging up. And they said in these articles that there was a plan to send the bodies to the Smithsonian, and then once they were finished studying them, to get the bodies back and do a reburial on Lewis Creek, like the farmland. But they never did the reburial for some reason, and I could never find any documentation on why they never did a reburial. Okay, let's see what else I have here. This is a correspondence I had with Bridgewater College, because I found out that the archaeologists sent an infant skeleton to Bridgewater College from the mound, and the rest of the skeletons went to the Smithsonian, and I have papers stating that. And I have papers from NAGPRA saying that Bridgewater College broke NAGPRA when they cremated the infant's remains. But they got away with it for several years. And that's kind of what, when I went to a reporter with this story, that's what he latched onto, is that Bridgewater College broke NAGPRA. So, but the infant's remains was given back to the tribe. And a little birdie has told me that the tribe is also trying to get the remains from the Smithsonian. So my goal was complete, even if the tribe doesn't like me for whatever reason. They're just trying to get your ancestors justice. Sorry. These are archaeologists, like the Archaeological Society of Virginia comes out with these little quarterly bulletins where their archaeologists document and detail their digs. And these two quarterly bulletins are about the final excavation, the actual archaeologists' findings. And, they said, actually, I'm going to have to make a part 2. Okay. Okay. Here's part two of my documentation to help get an Indian burial mound repatriated. The quarterly bulletins, like I was saying in the last video, are written by the archaeologists that did the final excavation in the 1960s. Um, Basically, they documented what they found, the bones, um, what position the bodies were laying in, you know, items found with the bodies. Um, that, there was just great extensive damage. Uh, but yeah, like each time I got a document, because I didn't know anything, I didn't know the story, I didn't know anything about anything. I was going off of nothing. And for 14 years, like I Googled, I went, and I found a little thing on Google. And then I went to the Historical Society and they had like a paragraph. And so for 14 years, it was like I only found a couple paragraphs proving that there was a mound. But, when I said that little prayer, you know, saying, Spirit world, if you want me to bring you justice. Yeah. And then it was crazy. It was like I was just getting a whole bunch of ideas, and it's like I contacted one person and I would get a document, and then that document would give me clues on where to get other documents, and clues on where I can find the rest of the story, or this part of the story, or that part. It was like a puzzle, putting a puzzle together. And yeah, it was it was really fun. But I'm not afraid of ghosts or being haunted. I just think that this story is one of many on how we've treated Native American people. I mean, we just dug up their dead and like treated their dead like playthings, their ancestors, and sold the items that were in the graves, and kept how many skulls in the basement for 20 years? Like, what the hell? You don't see Native Americans going around digging up our graves, keeping our skulls in their basements. So yeah, I'm just glad that I could get justice for them. It sucks that the tribe won't speak to me, and that made it very, very, very hard to get a repatriation, because I had all the info, and I had to like keep bugging the tribe, and I had to send them all my research, and so that to help them out. But they wouldn't talk to me. But it was like frustrating, because it was like, if you would just talk to me, I can help you. I can show you where the site is. I can tell you the story, like I can give you the documents that prove the college broke NAGPRA. But that's okay. You know, maybe I did something that was really offensive, or, maybe they're just guarded because I'm white. I mean, it's kind of weird. This random white lady wants to repatriate an Indian mound and hopefully, tell the history of it. And, I'm not going to give up telling the history of it. Like, I feel like I went my whole childhood wanting to know if there were Native Americans where I live before white people. And I was always told no. But then I find this out and it like goes against everything I was ever told. So, heck yeah, I want them to be remembered. I want people to remember, yes, they were here. Okay. They lived here before you. But, anyways, that's my documentation and my story. I hope you enjoyed.
It actually started in my early 20s, but that doesn't mean that I didn't have like psychic phenomena happening like my entire life. It was just spread out and it was mostly premonitions when I was a little kid. Hi guys, I hope everything is well. I just wanted to share my story, um my journey as a psychic medium. It actually started in my early 20s, but that doesn't mean that I didn't have like psychic phenomena happening like my entire life. It was just spread out and it was mostly premonitions when I was a little kid. I had a lot of premonitions, and it wasn't until my early 20s that spirit kind of like grabbed me and said, "Look, bitch, you can see us and you can hear us." So, um, I was going about life and I had a dream that my childhood best friend told me that, "Hey, I just died. Can you tell my dad, whatever?" And I wake up and I get online, and all over Facebook it says that he died. Rest in peace, Issa Osbury. And I had messages from friends saying, "Hey, did you hear about Issa?" And it freaked me out. It scared me. I thought I was going crazy. Um, yeah. And I refused to talk to his dad. But then I started getting visions, like when I would be out with friends, I would get a vision of Issa telling me they're not your real friends. And when I'd be driving in the car, I'd get a vision of Issa sitting in the passenger side saying, "Please, please contact my dad, please." So after like several months of this, finally I was like, "Fine, okay, fine. Contact your damn dad." And I did. And I woke up to a message from him saying that he had been praying the night before for some kind of sign. And then he woke up to my message about Issa. So that scared me. I felt like I was going crazy. Um, but it didn't stop. Most spirit came in, and I'd have more dreams of, "Hey, I just died. Can you tell so and so?" And or visions of them asking me to help them in some way. Um, and it wasn't until recently that somebody told me I should do readings and embrace the fact that I'm a psychic medium, because I've gone several years being ashamed of it or thinking it makes me crazy. Um, Mostly because my family is really religious and my family is scared of it. Like, they told me straight up, like, they're scared of it. Because I relayed messages to my dad from his deceased army buddies. I had a dream where I was like on a bridge with my dad, and this ghost came up, and the ghost was in an army, like a soldier uniform, and he said, "Hey, I was in the army with your dad. My name's Ernie. Tell him I watch over him." So I woke up and I went to my dad and I said, "Hey, Dad, did you know an Ernie in the army? Because he told me to tell you he watches over you." My dad's eyes got huge. And my dad said, "Yeah, I knew Ernie." He said, "We weren't that close, though, so I don't see why he would be watching over me." And I said, well, we'd be surprised who chooses to watch over us. But anyways, yeah, that it scared my parents, and so they're not really accepting of my gift. So it's made it harder for me to accept that I'm a medium. Um, and then I actually got advice from two celebrities. I asked them, what should I do? And they said that I should get on social media and share my gift. And so that's what I'm doing. Um, but yeah, if y'all have any questions about like what I experience, what it's like, anything like that, feel free to ask. But that's all I can think of for now. Y'all have a wonderful day.
I believe you. I've experienced the weird stuff. And hey, if you ever want to come on here and talk about anything you've experienced, feel free. That'll be fun. I'd love to have you up here. I'd love to hear somebody else's paranormal experiences. Mine are mostly ghost related. Um, they say like a lot of videos are coming out about I live in the Appalachian Mountains and a lot of videos are coming out saying there's cryptids and all kind of stuff like that and I'm like, no, I've never seen a cryptid or but my uncle says he saw Bigfoot. And I believe you also because I attract deer. Like, I warn people when they get in a car with me, like, just so you know, we're probably going to see deer if I get in the car with you. They're like, whatever, we are not. Just get in the car. And then, sure enough, I've had so many cars totaled because deer have jumped right in front of me. Um, was it last year? I was driving down the road and I saw a baby deer hanging from the top of a barbed wired fence because its feet were tangled in the barbed wire. So I popped a Yui and, untangled him from the fence so he could go with his mom. But yeah, I can relate to attracting weird stuff. Let's see what else we could watch that may be interesting. Most of my videos are boring. Gosh, I have some old stuff in here. What did I say about death
Okay.
funerals?
So I wanted to talk death and the time around the funeral. What I've learned is that when people die, most people, they linger around their families and around the funeral. And this, I don't know, this is to say goodbye or to get closure. Um, but my experience was with my grandmothers, both of them. Um, my grandma who recently died, we woke up and we went in to check on her, and she had died in her sleep. And where I am, like, here her body was, but I could see like her spirit. Like, I see it in my mind's eye. So I'm like, oh shit. My grandma was a Capricorn, and if you know anything about Capricorns, they like to fuck with you. Um, so everybody's all crying, and they're carrying the body out, and my grandma's talking to me the whole time while all of this is going on. And when my grandma was alive, she would always say things like all my life, and another one was, how do you think I feel? And my mom just broke down and was crying and said something like, Mom, why? I needed you. And here my grandma was, her spirit was like, well, how do you think I feel? And I just busted up laughing. And my mom looked at me like I was the most insensitive person. And I said, I had to explain, oh, I just had a thought of grandma saying, but it was horrible. Her whole funeral, she was cracking jokes, and like at the most inappropriate times, she was saying things that made me laugh. Um, and it made me look crazy. Like, that side of the family, they don't really want me talking about being a medium because it scares them, and they're religious. So whatever. But my grandma took that to her advantage. And anyways, the point of me telling you this story is that if you've had a loved one who's just passed over, they are most likely around you because they linger around the funeral and around the family. And like, if you get any thoughts of them cracking jokes, that is most likely them. So I hope this helps, and maybe it was a message somebody needed to hear. Have a good day.
But anyways, if you're still there, James, like feel free to come up and like tell your stories. Don't be shy. Because I don't have much experience with like that sounds like what my uncles experienced, and I don't have much experience with like cryptids or skinwalkers or um like any of the creatures. I was talking about that earlier in my stream. I don't know if it was this stream or if it was the last stream I was in. The I was saying that gosh, it's funny you pick up on that. I was saying that the book was a guidebook for those who just deceased, and it says that the living won't see the dead, not that they can't. They choose not to. But yeah, I knew like when my mediumship started opening up, like I cringed because like I just knew when my grandma died she was going to misbehave, and she did. She's behaving okay now, but she tries really hard to get my mom's attention, and she toys with electronics. Like she opened a recliner, um like the recliner just opened itself on its own. Like she scared the shit out of my mom, and my mom came to me and was like, you know, she talked to me about it, and I had to tell her, look, you have to set boundaries with grandma, which the woman didn't respect boundaries when she was alive, so why is she going to when she's dead? But yeah. Yeah, the trauma. I had a near death experience when I was 2 years old. We found out I had a blood clotting condition when I was bleeding internally for 2 weeks and didn't stop. And I had a near death experience in 2023. And I used to block out, like, I couldn't see them because I didn't want to see them. They'd show themselves sometimes, but I would, like, mostly have a boundary, don't show yourself to me. But when I woke up in the hospital after my respiratory failure, like, I woke up to them standing over me, staring at me while I was asleep, walking down the halls. Um, I'd be out driving and they'd be walking down the street and then disappear. Okay. What do you mean? What pattern? Yeah, okay, I get what you're saying. That's the only thing I can think of, because another thing I could think of that probably was it is that bipolar depression runs in my family, and I have had suicidal thoughts since I was a 6-year-old little girl. And I just wonder if, like, having this want to die, wanting to die, I know that's very morbid, and I'm sorry that could be triggering for some, but, experiencing that, I wonder if that also made me closer to, well, death, or kind of opened me up in a way. But the other mediums I talked to said it was most definitely like traumatic experiences or the severe near death experiences. Oh, and just so y'all know, I don't experience, I guess I'm not allowed to say the word, but unaliving myself feelings of that anymore. I got help and found the right medication finally, and life is great now. And also, being able to talk to the spirit world actually has helped me a lot because I can talk to my grandpa, and they see me when I'm depressed, and they'll come in and give me support, and it's like I could talk to my loved ones and they can give me guidance, and um having the spiritual world to support me is really cool. It's like I have more friends. My grandpa mostly comes in, my grandpa and my grandma. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like everything that is bad and runs in our family, I inherited. I got. Because like OCD runs in my dad's family. He says it doesn't. He's never gotten help for it. But the man is severely OCD, and his mom was too. And I think that I am as well. And I have the depression. So I got a little bit of both. How's your breakfast, by the way? And yeah, I'm glad you've learned to harness your gift to help. I'm trying because at first it scared me and I didn't know what the hell was going on. And I grew up being told that was evil. So I'm glad I'm finally embracing it and having good experiences with it. It's really common that people with autism, they don't know, because back then they didn't know much about it, like when we were kids. There's a celebrity that I follow and she was just diagnosed. Nice. Are you on like a workout plan or something? I could barely eat anything because I am severely overweight and I am on Zepbound, the weight loss medication, and it has drastically reduced my appetite. So it's like I still feel hunger, but then when I go to eat, I can't eat. Yeah, there's some. I've often wondered if I am autistic, like higher functioning, because like I've had freakouts in crowds. Like, I don't know, there's just things about me. I may not be. They say that I have ADHD, and my family, ADHD and autism run in it. So that's another thing that we have. Um, but yeah, like my nephew, he's autistic. My cousin's autistic. My other nephew is autistic. Um, One of my nephews has ADD. My sister has ADHD. I have ADHD. Gotcha. Well, I hope your neck injury gets better. Seems like everybody right now is going through something medical. Like, just a week or so ago, I was in the hospital for, they said I had several blood clots in my right lung. What is that? Pulmonary embolism. So I need to like go on walks daily so I don't make any more blood clots that form. Oh, thank you. I hope I do too. The blood thinners do seem to be working, but they're causing like bleeding other places, and my doctors are just like, "You're okay. You're on a blood thinner." But I appreciate the prayers. Yeah, that's kind of why I'm like turning more towards like getting on here and wanting to start conversations with people and like have group chat instead of like focusing on the readings just because coming out of the hospital, I'm whooped. Oh, thanks. I hope what I'm doing is helping people. Um, I'm learning, there's an etiquette to this. Like, one lady told me I was a little too blunt when I was delivering a sensitive message. And I do tend to be blunt sometimes. So I apologize to her, but it's like it's something I'm going to have to learn like when I'm giving these readings like if I hear spirit say something, I'll say it the way the spirit said it. So if the spirit is being blunt, I'm going to be blunt, and I need to like be mindful of that from now on. because I may hurt somebody's feelings. Or there was another reading that I did, and somebody came through that the person, you know, did not want to come through. I guess they were a bad person. So I have to be mindful that that may happen sometimes, and I have to be able to handle that. Call them how you see them, otherwise, might not be the same or right message across to them. True. Well, what I'm noticing, and see, this is one of the reasons why I'm kind of like moving away from doing tarot readings, is because a lot of spirit is coming in, and, you know, they don't want their loved ones to be with these abusive people that they're obsessed with. And they're getting tarot reading after tarot reading after tarot reading. How do they feel about me? Will they come back and will we reconcile? Are they my twin flame? And their family members are just like, ugh, no, get over him, you know? I was spot on with your grandfather. It's nice to hear. Yeah. Y'all's loved ones want y'all to stop obsessing over love. Focus on making money, focus on loving yourself. And they used to tell me the same thing. Yeah, it is. And I like the feedback that I was accurate. Thank you. Because that helps me know that I'm learning how to do this correctly. I just need, like, I get flashes of information, like pictures, visions of what they look like. Sometimes they'll tell me their name. Sometimes they'll tell me how they died, but I don't really get that a lot. But I don't get like a whole bunch of detail. They just give me little bits of information. So I want to get to a point where I get a lot of detail. And yeah. But that's why I'm practicing on you guys, so I can learn to get that detail. Not in a crystal, but let me think. I've seen spirits like go into pictures. I guess I did have mediumship experiences as a child, because when I was a child, I was laying in bed and I was looking at a picture of my mom and my dad, and my mom's face warped into like the Grim Reaper. And then when I was older, I learned that my mom had lost a pregnancy at that time, but I was young, so they weren't going to tell me anything about that. So I've seen like in pictures, but I guess I mostly see the spirit. That's why I put on my little avatar the kid from The Sixth Sense. Yeah, I'm like him a little bit. I see the spirits. And like when I'm doing readings, like the spirits, like they love to like look over my left shoulder for some reason, and I just go with it. I've never predicted like anybody being born, but I have predicted people dying, um, or people going insane. Um, when my grandma was getting ready to die, 6 months before she died, my grandpa started sending me dreams telling me that she was getting ready to die. So I knew, her death was coming. Um, I think that's also why I didn't get sad. Now, there's a boyfriend I had who we stopped speaking for 7 years. And then I had this dream where he said, Becky, mental illness, suicide. And so I reached out to him and we got in touch with each other, and it was romantic and passionate. And we went on a date for my birthday. And then after my birthday, he just completely went insane. He, I, me and his mom had to get him into a mental hospital because he has severe schizoaffective disorder. And yeah, he's never been the same since. And I saw that coming. I see a lot of plane crashes for some reason. And I think that's because I was born at Langley Air Force Base Hospital. So stuff like that. It would be nice if I could predict good stuff, but no, unfortunately, it's always gloom and doom and death. Yeah. My aunt predicted COVID. Like a week before COVID hit, she kept calling us, telling us that there was going to be like a biological warfare and that we needed to stock up. And she kept calling us saying that. And then COVID broke out. And one of the things she said we needed to stock up on was toilet paper. But I tried telling my aunt, I tried like bonding with her and telling her, like, hey, me too, except I'm a medium where you just give premonitions. And she said, my gift's from God. Are you sure yours isn't from the devil? And I was just like, okay. Oh, that's weird. And by the way, if you dream of the deceased, that's because that's the easiest way that they can contact you. That's like the simplest form of mediumship. Alligators to get them. I told them not to go on any plane trips for a while. It was so weird and real, especially the part of the swimming with the alligators. His mouth never moved, just his hands to follow him. I believe that. Yeah, the dreams are really vivid, and that's the easiest way that spirit can come in dreams. Like I said, when my mediumship started, they would come in dreams and be like, "Hey, I just died," and then they would show me themselves in visions or um, what do you call it? Full-bodied apparitions. And here's a little trick that I learned from a shaman. She said, if you want to talk to your ancestors or talk to any of your deceased loved ones, put some money out on your dresser and ask them to come into a dream. I did that one time. I put a $2 bill out on my dresser and I asked my ancestors to come into a dream. And a month later, I had a dream about me and Little Wayne were being chased by a voodoo doll. And then this man with an accent was like narrating my dream. He laughed and he said, "Dim Cajun complications." My family's Cajun. So then he showed himself and he said, "I am your ancestor." And he was a voodoo priest and he was Nigerian. And I was just like, I have Nigerian in me. But it was really cool. You should try it. Yeah. Ask a loved one to come in. Like if you have a loved one that you want to speak to, um, ask them to come in to a dream. Or if you want to meet your like ancient ancestors, ask them to come into a dream. I had Lorraine Warren come into a dream because I used to be a part of her Facebook group that her and her grandson made. And when I first joined, I asked a question about mediumship and dreams. Like, I wanted to know if, like, I was astral projecting or, what was going on with my dreams. And when I was waking up from a dream, I saw Lorraine Warren, like her face, and she kind of spooked me out. And she said, "I'm Lorraine." And she said, "You need to clear out your sacral chakra." And then I woke up. And after that, I got, like, I could see Lorraine Warren, like, have visions of her giving me advice and stuff. So that was pretty cool. She came in for me. Because she was a psychic medium, but her thing was she saw auras. I know this stuff may just sound so crazy, but I swear I experienced it. But yeah, I've heard dreams are the most common source of mediumship, and most people have experienced dream visitations. If I have a bad nightmare, sometimes I will shake violently until I'm out of my body and can't be harmed. It seems like I disappear out of the situation, maybe. Not sure. Yeah, it sounds like maybe a lucid dream or some kind of dissociation. When I was a little girl, I had horrible night terrors. And I had a dream that I was in this catacomb and I was terrified. And then this monk came with a light. He had a torch. And he said, "Becky, don't be afraid. Just remember that you're dreaming." And ever since then, I was able to lucid dream. So when I have nightmares, I'll be in my dream like wake up, wake up, wake up, pinching myself and like wake up. And 9 times out of 10, I'm able to wake myself up. But it seems like you're able to, in the dream, like escape it by astral projecting almost. That's interesting. Wow. Perfect timing. That's creepy. James, was it your dad or your grandfather that was um, a serviceman? Because while I'm talking to you, I just like I'm seeing a serviceman, but like one from like the 40s. Okay, they're showing themselves to me. Anybody in World War II? Okay, yeah, he keeps showing me himself and standing in his uniform. Oh wow. Yeah, because it's not a recent soldier; it's a World War II soldier. Because it's like I get the year 1940s, and I just felt World War II. Yeah. He's around you. He wants you to know he's around. That's cute. I love when they just pop in, like, hey, I'm here. Just know I'm here. I don't like this music. most of your criminal friends. You know, it's funny you said that because I was going to say he may be wanting to lecture you. So you say that when I had that in my head of him, like, lecturing you and telling you to do right. He's laughing. I think if there is something that he would be lecturing you on, you must know it because you said that. Welcome to everybody who just joined. I hope you're having a good day. Not unless you know who it was sold to, and then you'd probably have to buy it back. He's saying he's not too worried about it. On the other side, you learn to let go of material possessions, but he sees that it upsets you because that was, something that attached you to him. I'm sorry that your brother did that. My uncle did that to my dad. He sold all my grandma's stuff, and his girlfriend stole her rings. Really? I'd say you approach him again. Your grandpa, like, he's showing me an image of him just kind of like shaking his head, kind of like, I guess the guy you're dealing with is just dirty. Why would you do that to somebody? Did your grandfather have a lap dog? Like, at first I saw a cat, and then I saw like a little dog. Like him petting some kind of animal sitting on his lap. Right. Okay, yeah, that's what I saw at first was cats. But I second guessed myself. I need to quit second guessing myself. I'm a crazy cat lady. That must be why he is talking to me. My uncle, like one of my uncles, let my other uncle borrow a gun. And the uncle who borrowed the gun sold it. And I think that was like, I don't know, it was something special to my uncle. Like, he wanted to pass it down to his son. But yeah, that's what that reminds me of. Yeah, my uncle sold everything because my uncle's a drug addict and an alcoholic. Like, not to be mean, but yeah, they can be chill. They can be bossy, but they can be chill. I just grew up with cats. I like dogs too, but dogs are definitely like having kids almost.
What if your smile could go from looking like this to this? Nuvia's 24-hour process is really unique. It's a game changer in terms of having your teeth the next day. You're getting the final product. You know that you're getting the smile that you've imagined. It's an incredible life-changing event for the patients that go through it. And it's just a wonderful opportunity to be able to see the change instantaneously
That breaks my heart to hear.
I think Nubia is on the cutting edge for dental implants, and that's why so many patients are now choosing us. Overnight is pretty unheard of. You get to start the next chapter of your life within 24 hours. The temporary.
I just want to say, like, keep trying with the guy, but I have a feeling it's not gonna help. That the guy's just a jerk. And I don't want to tell you that. That's sad.
8 months to kind of finish your treatment. Literally 24 hours, your treatment's done. Having our teeth definitely helps you with your confidence because knowing that these will break. We don't focus on any other procedure. This is where all our time and effort goes. You won't come by that anywhere else. The uniqueness is in the materials and the speed that we can place the prosthesis.
Wow.
The patient is treated, and 24 hours later they have a final prosthesis. Nubia 24-hour teeth is different. It's not just aesthetic, it's functional too. It's your permanent teeth literally in 24 hours. It's life-changing, not only for them, but for me as well. So emotionally, it's been rewarding.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
To actually do what I love that's leading to this outcome. There's nothing like that. Nubia is the only company where we promise and deliver permanent teeth in 24 hours. And when we say permanent, we just don't mean.
Did you know anybody who was special to you that lived in Florida?
I tell my patients that Nubia is a place where you should feel warm and welcome, and you're going to feel safe. I think the qualifications and the certifications of the surgeons and dentists and prosthodontists and the entire team are top drawer.
Yeah.
it's possible for you. And the first step is being
Sometimes we got to distance ourselves from people, and sadly, that's blood. I'm not currently getting along with my siblings. Like, all those people said nice things to me when I was in the hospital, but my siblings didn't say a word to me. They didn't come visit me, nothing. So it's like, okay, I'll remember that. Okay. Because your grandpa was showing me like him wearing kind of like a Florida looking outfit, like shorts and like one of those t-shirts with the, and like sitting in a lounge chair. No, and it just reminded me of Florida, and I was like, what are you trying to tell me? Yeah, I'm seeing the Hawaiian shirts. And he looks like he's on vacation. And he's wearing sunglasses. He has like a little drink. I guess he wants to show you that he's on vacation right now. This is fun. I hope you don't mind me talking to him, but he just kept coming in. So I figured I'd say something. No, hopefully not too soon. I feel like that with all my health issues. Like, I'll be there soon enough. Oh, nice. Good. I just had a couple mediums be like really stern with me in the past and tell me to never approach somebody and tell them their loved one has a message for them, that I needed to wait until somebody approached me. But like, how would that even work? People don't know that their loved ones are talking to me. I would have to approach them. But yeah, he kept showing me him in his service uniform, and he looked very handsome. Now he's showing me like him taking you fishing. So he said he's going to take you fishing. Or that maybe you should go fishing. I don't know if that's something y'all used to do together or something you like to do. I think he's trying to say that you need a vacation. Both. Yeah, if you've been working hard, I think he's trying to say you need to take a vacation. Go do something you enjoy and relax. Get off your injury energy. Really? So that may be why he's talking about it too, because we were talking about that earlier. Go have a paranormal experience. He's showing me somebody working on a red car. like working on the tire, or they're like underneath the car. Yeah, but it would scare the hell out of other people. Well, maybe you should go fishing. Or get an oil change.
I was just feeling sick. And it was the worst thing. What was fine? I was sad. I was diagnosed with.
See, this is what I'm talking about, the blips of images. And it's like they either make sense or they don't. Like, I need to find a way to get detailed messages. I can't see the whole car. I can only see like the front end, and it's red. But it does look like an older car just by looking at like the shape of the wheel. Probably the car he taught me to drive with. I was 6, 7 years old when he first let me behind the wheel. Have you ever heard of the Oracle of Delphi? Yes, I have. When I first started exploring psychic phenomena, I actually used to go to a chat room called Oracle of Delphi. That was the chat room's origin was in Britain somewhere. And they had classes and stuff like that. Now, I don't really know what the Oracle of Delphi is. I just know that's what that was called. And I was actually going to ask you if that was the car that he taught you to drive with, but I didn't. Wah, wah. See, I missed an opportunity to give detail because I doubted myself. I think that's my problem, is doubting when I have information. She was an oracle in ancient Greece that was never wrong. I believe they said she was using gas escaping from a cave to get info from an out of body experience. Oh, interesting. Like astral projecting. It's cool. Thanks for sharing that. I've always heard of the Oracle of Delphi, but I didn't know the story behind it. And I just know that website was like the first time I ever got a mediumship reading. I cried so hard. I don't know. I've had dreams about aliens. I've had dreams about bad aliens, and I've had dreams about good aliens. And one time I had a vision of like, they looked like aliens, but they were like light beings. Like they were like glowing light. And they were good. But the thing with that is you can't prove it, you know? Unless the alien's standing right before you. I don't mind answering it. I find it fascinating. I think I've seen like UFOs because this one time I was driving and there was this light hovering in the sky, and then it just took off like really fast and disappeared. I was like, aliens. Okay, your grandpa is telling me to ask about a dog. And I'm seeing a black dog that kind of looks like a border collie or some kind of Sheltie or some kind of herding dog. Yeah, when you're there, there's no doubt you're real if you see it right in front of your face. But that's the thing with those and UFOs, it's hard to prove. Your grandpa said he's going to try to help me get detail. So he said ask about a dog. But it's like I'm not seeing, like I'm seeing like I'm looking down on the dog. The dog's like medium sized. He has long dark hair. Brutus. Okay. So I got the details correct. Yay! I got some details. I kept ignoring your grandpa when he was saying ask about the dog. But he said, look, we're going to get you some practice getting detail. I like your grandpa. He's fun. Yeah, tell me more about what you've experienced. Like, I have experienced like creatures that I couldn't explain. Like I was driving one night and I saw this duck, or it looked like a duck, but it was flying really slow and it had a long tail. He was the funniest person you knew. Wait, who's the funniest person you knew? I'm confused.
So again, my name is Charlotte Nicholson, and I'll see you on the train.
Oh, your grandpa?
Celebrate Ashley's 80th anniversary by getting a great night's sleep. Buy a Beauty Rest Black mattress and get a free adjustable base, plus 0% interest.
I'm having an air brand moment. Your grandfather. Okay. Yeah, I thought, I was like, wait, are we talking about a third person? Yeah, he's funny. He has a good sense of humor. He's sweet, though. But he's insistent he's going to come through and talk to you this morning. He said that you gave him gray hair. Yeah, it looked like a duck and it had like bat wings, big bat wings, and a long tail. So it looked like a duck gargoyle and it flew really, really slow. And anybody who I told, they didn't believe me. But that's the most bizarre thing I've ever seen. Yeah, I was something else when I was younger. Yeah, your grandpa says it. You gave him gray hair. I'm going to Google that. It won't let me copy it. Pterosaur. Yeah, it honestly reminded me of like some kind of dinosaur or something like that. But it's like its bill was definitely like a duck's. And it wasn't very big. It was like as big as a skunk. Your grandpa's saying that you liked dinosaurs when you were a kid. I'm doubting this, but I'm going to say it anyways. He's saying that you had dinosaur toys that you used to play with. Kind of like the toys that I used to have. Lots of sightings of those, especially before storms. Interesting. I can't remember if it was before a storm or not, but it was at night. But in my headlights hit it. Isn't that interesting? I love dinosaurs. Your grandpa said he's going to help me get detail. So just a warning, he's going to be telling me stuff. Yeah, when I was like 3 years old, I had these dinosaur shoes that I loved. Are you a carpenter, or like do you build stuff for a living? I'm asking that because you said something earlier. I believe it. Near death experiences. Why I ask about like what you do for a living or work is your grandfather is telling me there's something work related that is really stressing you out or burnout or just very difficult for you. Let's see if I can get detail. I'm just hearing like you work too much or you do too much. You're tired. Really big dragonfly, and it's a fast but long story, but a huge spider grabbed it as it was watching me. That's creepy. Your grandpa keeps showing me somebody building a house or somebody building a roof. Like I just see like the foundations of a roof with the 2x4s. Yes, I'm a carpenter and had a 16-foot 2x6 hit me in the head, causing great pain over years of continuing to work. And yes, that's me. I build houses. Yay! I got the details right again. You see, I need to trust it. Yeah, he said you're a carpenter. And he showed me 2x4s. Or I guess that's a 2x6. But, ow. And you've continued to work. I'm sorry you have to deal with that. Head injuries are no joke. I bet that also ramps up anything weird that you're experiencing, because that's like another like traumatic event, like where you almost got your head taken off, man. Crazy. A dog man or a werewolf, but light eyes glowing in the dark.
Maybe a little too much confidence.
Skin this healthy only wears Pampers.
I've experienced shadow people. Like one time I was going to sleep and I opened my eyes and I saw like a shadow being standing there staring at me. But he didn't scare me. He just looked like he was just curious. The next one is going to sound batshit crazy, but I was almost attacked and barely escaped a 6'8" foot horned owl. The nightmares I got from that for years was rough. Oh my gosh. You know that the Native Americans actually say that owls are symbols of evil? So a lot of Native American people are afraid of owls. I just learned that. This isn't like creature related. It also had 5, 6 babies with it around the 3-foot range there. Wow. This isn't like creature related, but I went to like a rescue zoo and they had a bobcat there. And me being a cat lady knows cat language. And the bobcat was huddled in the corner looking scared. So I got on my knees and I looked at him in the eye, and I slow blinked. And the cat looked at me like surprised. And the bobcat came over and stood directly in front of me, got down on all fours, and returned my slow blink. It was the most spiritual moment I had ever had in my life. Like, me and that cat had an understanding, a bobcat. It was a Canadian lynx. So, a little bit different. Your story was bad. Mine was good. I looked into the Native American legends of giant owls, and I'm part Apache, and found one about them telling their children not to cry at night, otherwise the giant owl would take them away. Okay. Yeah. I so would have took the bobcat home. I know. Like I bonded with that cat. I felt so bad for her because she was just huddled in the corner looking terrified. And she lives like that every day while people come up to her enclosure and gawk at her. And she's just sitting there terrified. You're part Apache. That's really cool. My grandma tried to say we were part Cherokee, but I found out if we are, it's such a small percentage that it doesn't even count. So I'm white. Your grandpa's showing me his Hawaiian shirt again. Like he keeps bringing up your work. Like I think he's worried about you, like your stress levels and your injury. I think he really wants you to take a break for a little bit and just relax, if that is at all even possible. Because I know it's easier said than done. Oh, just take a vacation. The next thing I see, multiple Bigfoot in a closed park at night, trapping us on a peninsula while night fishing, definitely making it most terrifying thing I've been through. I personally think God saved me. Yeah. My uncle says he saw Bigfoot. I also heard and felt a portal open before this all happened that my girlfriend at the time's little brother couldn't feel or hear. Oh, that's weird. So you're a medium in the sense that you experience the weird and bizarre, where me, I just see dead people. We're two sides to a coin here. Sorry, I have acid reflux. It's really. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go take something. This hurts. Okay, I'm back. Then I moved to the city thinking I was getting away and safer. First night I'm outside smoking a cigarette. I look over at night and think to myself, who let a dog that big run around free? It looked like a huge wolf when it got under the streetlight. Then it stood up and flipped the lid somehow on the big garbage cans with the wheels and was eating and staring at me. I threw my cigarette and went. Yeah, I don't blame you. Your wife doesn't like to believe it because it scares her. Oh, that's how my mom is. Like, I can't talk to my mom about this stuff because it scares her. And, like, she misses my grandma dearly, but I can't tell her when grandma wants me to tell her stuff. I can't because she didn't want to hear it. But on grandma's birthday, she did ask me, "Have you sensed my mom?" I was like, "Yes." But I get it. I get about not being able to tell people. Welcome in to those who just came in. Huh, that's weird. You know what the weirdest thing I ever experienced with an animal was? I used to smoke cigarettes. I can't anymore. But I was sitting on my front porch smoking a cigarette, and this mother skunk with her babies came up, and the skunk rubbed herself up against my leg, like my legs, and just like sat by my legs, like leaning up against me. And I was just looking down at this skunk, like, what the hell? She didn't raise her tail or nothing. And then she went and started eating out of my garbage can, and I let her. And her babies were like playing by my feet. And I'm like, this bitch has me on babysitting duty while she eats out my garbage can. But I mean, why did she snuggle up to me like that? Like, what would make her think? Like, it was just bizarre. Huh. coyotes and they're running with something that looked like a giant sheepdog. But it wasn't a sheepdog. But it was a dog size at all. Oh, that's weird. And I noticed you ignored your grandfather's comment about you need a vacation. He says if your wife would let you. Go on a vacation doing paranormal hunting. Where do you live, if you don't mind me asking? I don't know if we have coyotes around here. I know we have bears. Oh, wow. Okay. So you're a little northwest of me. I'm in Virginia. I'm near West Virginia. Like, I'm in the Appalachian Mountains. Right at the foot of the mountain.
With Chewy, get their mealtime match at a great price. Figaro loves chicken, except when he hates chicken, but has no beef with beef when the mood is right. For fast delivery, for life with pets, there's Chewy.
My injury got worse when doctor told me to stop doing anything work related. I realized I dug my hole working hard, so I have to undig it working hard. Yeah, I get you. So you knew what he was talking about. Yeah, that makes sense. You gotta stretch. Gotta Take care of your muscles. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a carpenter, but I'm a hairstylist, and standing up and constantly moving and doing very physical things, having a very physical job, it wears your body out fast. And people don't think like hairdressing is really physical, but I mean, you're sitting there like parting the hair, cutting the hair. Oh God, washing hair hurts so bad. Like, yeah. And if people like slouch in their chair, that hurts me so bad. It's like I have to ask them, can you sit up straight, Oh, James, just to let you know, your grandfather's probably going to come in for you every time you come in this room. Just know that. Every time you come in here, your grandfather's going to want to talk to you. Because he can. I don't mind it. He's I went fishing and told someone about a good spot. The next day, they called to see if they wanted to go back. I had my kids for half the week because me and my ex are separated now when they got there. Okay. His grandpa knows what he's talking about. The one brothers see a 4 or 5 foot giant black owl looking down at him from the train bridge. He said, I don't scare easy. He was staring right at me, eyes bigger than silver dollars. Wow. Wouldn't that be something to see? Again with the owls. Oh, wow. So you were really attacked by one. Yeah, aggressive owl. He had it out for you. He's in the mafia.
Every dog breed has unique needs.
This is fun. The last time when I did this, nobody wanted to share any paranormal stories. James, you're fun. And I really like your granddad. He's fun too. Oh, probably not. I got the feeling that that might be your animal, but it might be it not might not be fully negative because like I said, I have deer always coming to me and it's like I have them come to me in a negative way by wrecking my car, but I've had them come to me in very positive ways too. Like so I feel it's kind of like that with the owl with you. Like there's going to be the owls that want to attack you and there's just going to be owls that sit in the tree and you notice them. I've been told it was attracted to my frequency and looks for me. I just worry it's not after my kids. It might be a you thing. I hope not. My ex has footage of an old phone where wild deer came home and actually hang out in the backyard. I hope the deer lived to be old and nobody got it. Oh, rub against you like a dog. Yeah, that little baby deer that I untangled from the barbed wire fence. I hope that that deer lives to be an old age because, like, his little antlers were starting to grow. So it was a boy.
Long as this will. Are you?
I could scratch under its neck and it was my buddy. The neighbor lady came out and asked if it was my pet because it would follow me when I walked the trail. Aw. Yeah, I hope nobody took advantage of its friendliness because it sounds like it might have been raised by humans or something. The fish was testing you. That's funny. Were you on here when I was talking about my most profound thing that I've ever done as a medium? I helped get an ancient burial mound. Excuse me, my throat is scratchy. An ancient burial mound repatriated. And I just like, I don't know, I'm forever shocked by that because I didn't think it was possible I could do it. And I did.
Looks like the Millers got some new furniture. And the Garcias? What? The Tipplewoods? Orange Days. Honey! Orange Days are here. Ashland's biggest sale of the year. Don't miss it.
But yeah, that was fun working with ancient spirits. Because it's like most spirits that I see are modern day, you know. But these were like, they were 1,000 years old about. God was testing you. Yeah, you better leave that fish alone.
What's the timeline for delivering file? How many rounds are don't stop there. If you have more questions or concerns, speak to a legal professional. But after that AI assistant, that now in the contract just got a whole
That same fishing spot, I've had multiple encounters. There, another one where I realized someone was throwing pebbles in the dark at me. My uncle thought I was crazy 10 minutes later. I'm going to have to go here in a little bit because I have a private reading. But yeah, just telling you that. I could still talk for a little bit though. I got 20 minutes. It was a bird caught in the line, not a fish. Aw. he wouldn't find anyone, or he'd regret it if he gets to see what it is. Ooh, that's creepy. Okay. Nothing be there. Well, I guess I need to get dressed and brush my hair because I'm going to be on a video call. So, James, thank you for coming in and talking to me. Like, that makes me so happy that I actually had somebody to talk to about paranormal stuff. Please keep coming back. And yeah, have a good day.